I'm about ready to do a lot of work to my Spyder. I'm really excited for this riding season. We have a couple big trips planned. What I'm going to do, it's a 2014 RT. I'm going to put a new battery in it. I ordered this one from Le Monster. I'm also going to keep out the trash grills in the front. Those are from Spyder Pops. A Baja round sway bar that I ordered from Le Monster. Also Baja round spring adjusters that I ordered from Spyder Pops, I believe. I did order some Tusk mini strut or spring compressors off eBay, so we'll see see how these work. They feel a little flimsy. I'm also going to put the NBV highway brackets and pegs on. I'm going to flush my brakes, replace my coolant, and put a trailer hitch on. I got one of those USA American trailers. We're going to pull behind us and do some camping on some of our trips this summer. I'm going to do something a little different with the wiring harness. I've never seen anybody do it, and I think it's going to make it a cleaner install, and when I'm not pulling a trailer, make everything just better. So we'll see how that goes, which will incorporate these gear ties from Night Eyes with that, I think. The first video I'm going to do is removing the frunk, and I know you don't have to do that for any of these things, but my radiators are just full of little bugs, so I'm going to take the frunk off. It is going to make doing the shocks easier, and probably the sway bar also, and it'll probably for sure make doing the coolant and the bleeding the brakes easier. So this first video will be taking the frunk off and removing body panels, and then I'll do a video for each of these upgrades I'm doing. So I have it jacked up plenty high, so hopefully using this GoPro strapped on my head when I'm underneath there will get a decent picture and video. So stay tuned. Okay, here we go. I have never removed the frunk, so this may be a learning experience for all of us. When you pull this one off, this micro switch right here, right there, make sure you don't tweak that thing, because you don't want to have to readjust it. Let's see, I'm going to keep the sides separate. Okay, if you haven't got magic mirrors yet, you really need to, because they are so handy. Make sure you don't let that fall back in the body. This one has the rubber grommets, one on the bottom, one on the back, and then it has a plastic hook here. So you want to make sure you don't rip that off and bust that little plastic hook off. And there's a couple of the rubber grommets on the bottom of this, and it'll come off. Remember, all these little bolts that go into a painted panel have the washers on them when you're putting things back together. Alright, so we've got some 10 millimeters here, one there, and one there. Let me get my flashlight. Make sure you can see it there. And then there's one back in here. So I'm going to go ahead and take this shroud off the around the headlights just to make access easier. I did take my T30 bit and run it through my grinder, so I made the tip of it beveled, and then made it so it's basically a swivel socket. Makes it a little easier when... What am I missing? Oh. There's two here on the bottom of it. Yeah, those are all the same length. After I just said that, there's no washers on that one. Okay, 10 millimeter here. And now it's not the ones for the head unit. It's these right here. You can see the bracket coming back. Actually, I'm gonna There's two underneath. I'm gonna get them loose before I make everything loose up top. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here and understand me with a flashlight in my mouth. I think my swivel socket will work in there. Yep, that was the right one. Okay. Now, that Frunk micro switch needs to unplug. Oh, that's just for the connecting buds to it. What else? The Frunk release. And I know there's a couple more harnesses. These two for the fog light. There it goes. And probably the same thing on this side. Okay, so just in case, I've got my little Craftsman scooter there. I'm gonna, when I pick it up off here, I'll set it there and make sure there's nothing else I need to unhook. Looks like the intake has to come loose. So See if that'll just slide off. The intake hose off the air box needs to come off. Okay. There we go. Maybe. Yep, I should have taken my battery cover off first. Which I'll do right now. Because I had my pigtail from my battery tender screwed into that door. Now we're loose. Yeah, look how dirty those radiators are. Man, this will sure make putting the battery in easier though, won't it? Do believe it'll make putting new antifreeze in good also. Definitely going to make getting these shocks out way easier. May not help too much with the sway bar, but okay. Okay, I have done all the upgrades on the front of this thing. I flushed the, well, drained the antifreeze, replaced it, put the Baja Spyder or Baja spring adjusters on, a new sway bar. I did the NBV highway pegs. There's going to be separate videos for each of those. I also put my battery in. I did not do a video on that. So anyway, it's time to put this thing back together. So here we go. So what we got is these slots here is what the Frunk hangs into. Oh, I'll put a short video on. I put on the Spyder Pops screens for those intakes on the Frunk. So there'll be a video up on that also. Alright, here we go. Actually, I'm going to lube up that intake tube with some window cleaner, just to hopefully make it slide on a little easier. So once I get it hung, I'm gonna see if I can get that slid onto there first thing. All right. onto those little hooks there. Okay, there I'm on them. See if I can get this intake tube started on here. Yeah, 7 millimeter. Okay, so there's a notch in that rubber tube that goes onto the intake of the air box there. So the tube has to be shoved clear up into that knot, and make sure you're even all the way around. There's like a the hose clamp goes right back against this square part of that lip on the rubber intake tube. Okay, we are on solid there. I got my harnesses all messed up. Well, got the other side. Alright, make sure I can get it. Yeah, so I probably should have taken some masking tape and taped these up to the fenders, and it would have made that simpler. Live and learn. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 bolts on top. See if I can start it with this thing without cross-threading it, hopefully. That's probably a bad idea. Okay, I think I got it started. Yep. Okay, there's 2 of the top ones. 3 and 4. Now I'm going to go underneath and get these two started on the bottom of it. Lost my long extension. Alright, put it away. So we've got the plug for the micro switch. And these two. And two over here. And the Frunk release. And I'm going to test that before I do anything else. Well, I can still release it by hand. And it works. And then we've got these two bolts, which did not have washers on them, and pretty sure they're supposed to. So I have some plastic washers. I'm just adding a washer on them. Next is front cover. Let me shut that noisy thing off. We're actually under a blizzard warning right now. Just starting to snow good. I got my little Bobcat skid steer in here ready to go for digging myself out. We're supposed to get 8 to 12 inches with 40 to 50 mile an hour winds tonight, tomorrow. April 10th today. Excuse me. Let's see, did I put those? So we've got the one up here. Here. Better start that one by hand. And get my extension for these two. Won't tighten any of them till they're all in and started. Wind's starting to pick up out there. Use my homemade wobble on this one. Okay. Now comes the side panels. These two rubber grommets here that just push in. You just gotta get them in line, snap them in. There we are. Forgot one. And these, of course, you hook that plastic hook back on and then just snap it in. That one just has the 2 pins that just set into that thing, and then it's captured by this grommet here. There we go. And then this one, these 2 tabs fit behind here, so it kind of straddles that one that goes behind this one. Those are right. And get this scooted in where it's supposed to be. Okay. I cannot say enough good things about magic mirrors. Somebody asked me on YouTube if they were sturdy and steady, and they are way steadier. I mean, they just don't move. There's no vibration to them going down the highway. Love them. Probably getting tired of me saying that. And again, watch out for that micro switch. Okay, all I have left to do is get this battery cover back on with my tender wire sticking out so I can hook it up, and the front end of this thing is done till I do my adjustments on my shocks. So the next video will be doing the trailer hitch. Thanks for watching.